Okay, welcome to your second tutorial on working with 3 dimensions in Vegas. We're going to do a quick little intro using some 3D text and a couple other effects, and I'm going to introduce you to a cool website to get some good stock footage. So first, let's take a look at what I came up with. Kind of a cool little background there. And there's the 3Ds right there when the text rotates in. Alright, so you can watch that yourself on our YouTube channel, but you get a feel for that. So let's go ahead and first of all, that little file, that video, that background thing is playing right there, that swirly thing. I'm not gonna make that. I borrowed that, and there's a cool website called stockfootageforfree.com. I created an account there, and it's very easy. You just put in your email address, and it's free. So you have to set an account up before you can start to get footage from there. You could also use, I set up a generic account for us at school that I posted on the web. You can see that username and address or password if you want. But the looping backgrounds, if you go into this section, there's a whole bunch of cool different backgrounds. Here's one for money, golden money. You get little previews of them. So check this place out to find a cool little background that you can put on that's looped, so it means you can just keep playing it over and over again. Perfect for doing little background stuff. And then of course the music, which I'm always touting, the freeplaymusic.com. But I did want to do a quick little intro on this because some of you, this website can be a little bit of a challenge to navigate at first. But what I found to be the best way to find music, I think, is just going straight to the CD volume and just looking at the name of the CD to kind of get a feel for the kind of music you want. Say Bangin' Beats. That can have some pretty cool stuff for intros. So I'm going to click right in there, and I'm going to go into these previews, and I'm just going to hit on play, and then they're going to pop up in my media player. And I'm going to get to hear it real quick. And right away I say, no, I'm not looking for that. I'm going to go to the next one. I'm just going to click on the next preview. And let's say I decide I like this one. Okay, so to get that one, I'm going to go ahead now on the MP3 side. I'm going to click it. And if I'm doing an intro, probably 30 seconds is all I need. And then I'm going to download it and save it. And what I did is I spent a good 30 to 45 minutes. And I'm going to go ahead and say OK, and then it'll save that file. And I went through and did a lot of previews on a lot of different CDs until I found like 5 or 6 tracks that I thought had potential for my intro. So then once I started making the intro, then I started listening to each one and kind of deciding which one best went with it. So you're going to have to spend some time on this site, and I'm really looking around. If I just click on the back button, I go back and select my next CD. And I go to Bangin' Beats Volume 3 or 4 and whatever, but there's quite a few of them. There's battle themes, there's blues, there's broadcast volume. So like for news, you go in there and they have a lot of news themes. There's TV themes. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So you can definitely spend some time in here finding the right track. So those are 2 good sites for you to use. The first one, stockfootageforfree.com, and then of course the next one, Free Play Music. So what you want to do is spend a little bit of time right now. You can go out there and find a background and find a few tracks. And then once you have those and you've downloaded them into your C drive, then come on over to Vegas and I'll meet you over there. Bing. Okay, here I am in Vegas. Now I'm switched over to Vegas 8 for this video. But everything I'm doing you'll be able to do in Vegas 5 or 8 either way. It's not a big deal. And you see I'm looking at my finished product here in the timeline. And I'll show you real quick a little preview of something I was working on before. It didn't work out so well. I'm not happy with it, but it was kind of cool. 3D bubble that you make, and then you can have video playing inside of it. Maybe I'll figure that out later, but for now we're going to focus on here. So it's pretty simple. Here's my music, here's my background track, then my text that does the 3D, and then you remember from our last video, there's the 2 3D tracks that allows the 218 Productions to do that little 3D rotation at one turn. So pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and we'll make that together. Okay, I'm back. Actually, I just went to the movies. Saw The Blind Side. Very good movie. So here we are. I was about to start to make this, and before I do want to show you one other tutorial that I found on YouTube, which is very similar to this with a 3D text movement, but this person does a real nice job with a different effect on their text, a little glowing text. I'll show you a little bit of this. So pretty cool. So if you'd rather make yours like that, you can feel free to go to that website, and I think if you just go to well, I'll make a link to it so you can get to it if you'd rather do that one. Either one will be, they both do 3D text. They both have a few different special effects. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a new project, save changes for sure. Hey, what's up? Pause it. Okay, so I've got my project open. I'm going to start by inserting a couple video tracks, and this time I'm going to get into the habit of naming them. I think I have to expand that a little bit. There you go. So my bottom track is going to be my background, and I'm going to get that file that I downloaded off of that website, stock footage. I got this blue swirl, so I'm going to drag that in there. That's kind of cool, and I can just extend that out a little bit. And next I want to do that simple 3D effect, so with my text. So I'm going to insert some text media, bring that over here, oops, there, and I'll just write down whatever, 218 Productions, decrease the size a little bit, and pick whatever font floats your boat. I don't know, I guess I'll do the old pt1. Maybe not, maybe something a little bit fatter. That's not very fat. Should probably pick this out before I waste your time. How about Arial Bold? There. Okay, looks pretty good. Place it right there. Fine. Don't worry about the color. Don't worry about putting an edge on it yet. We're going to do that later. So next to do that 3D, that little turn it does at the end, we're going to go to the track, compositing mode, make it a 3D source. And then I'm going to go over here to the track motion, and I'll kind of position this so I can see the preview. And what I wanted to do is start by being turned a little bit. So in the first keyframe, I am going to rotate it along the y-axis, so it kind of turns. You can just bring the slider panel by clicking on that little arrow. And I'll start it like this. It'll start like that, and then it'll just slide in. So now I'll go to a keyframe, add a new keyframe, somewhere around, I don't know, 10 seconds or a little less than that, maybe around 5 seconds in. Put a keyframe down, and here, when it gets here, I'm going to make this go back to 0, so it'll go back to normal. And now I've got to get that clip a little longer, so I'm going to change the length. Now you can't just pull on it, because it'll just loop that. It'll loop that clip. So I'd actually change the time, make it 7 seconds, which brings us out to here. And now you can see when I added that, when I added in those keyframes on that track motion, they showed up down here. So here's the one where it's at an angle, and then by here it's going to be back in place. Maybe I'll have it go a little faster, so let's just preview that really quick. So it's kind of turning in, and then bam, it locks in right there. So that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll start it. Let it sit there for a minute. All right.